We were talking about like the early days of esports and everyone's just, it wasn't even esports. It was people trying to beat the shit out of each other in video games. That's all it was. And then like sometimes there was prize pools and so it just runs on like such a like soul. It runs on pure passion. Do you think that soul and passion is still around in esports?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the soul and passion exists. I think it's to varying degrees in different titles and in different environments. And so when I think of like, let's say somebody running like their local collegiate esports club or meetups or LANs, like those grassroots are so deep. Yeah. Like as we get more and more money into it, or maybe like some games aren't as like, let's be real, there's some games that aren't maybe as authentic like with the audience, and maybe prize pool exceeds the amount of audience it has. Like right. I think that's areas where we stray away from like the deep love of the game.
Yeah.
But without a doubt, I mean, people have and still love gaming. People are like putting their passions in. There's people that are being, unfortunately, like overworked in different parts of the gaming industry and esports industry that are being ran on pure passion. Like,
that's
and
true.
so I think there's, I would love for it to scale up and be, I think everything's settled to where it needs to land. But right now, there's this much audience for a game, but here's its prize pool, or there's this much prize pool for a game, and here's its current audience. And like, I think that's all going to be corrected over the long term. But, in the short run, like as we're still in like some very early ages for esports, it's going to be kind of all over the place.
Yeah. So as you're competing in Halo 1, early Halo 2, and all of this, everything seems like it's taking off. Were you ever a part of like, or did you ever wonder like, why is this taking off? Or were you just like head down and playing? Because it seemed like you capitalized on the influx of audience way more than anyone else did.
Yeah, I think I did some things right, and I also missed out in certain ways. Like, I think I did not understand or capitalize on, like, the YouTube space. Like, I was creating, like, basically content that would be, like, a montage, but I didn't have my own YouTube channel.
That's true.
And so, like, people would, like, upload my videos, and, like, I would just put, like, whatever the equivalent was, like, a Dropbox back in the day. Like, here's my montage, forum, enjoy it. And, like, hundreds of thousands or million-plus people would watch it, and it's like, I didn't, understand the how to build that community on, like, something like YouTube. So in some ways, I definitely didn't capitalize correctly. But then in other ways, like I think I did understand where gaming had a really strong trajectory. I think an early goal for me was like, I would love to be kind of known as like maybe like a Tony Hawk of video gaming, like somebody that like popularizes it to the masses or helps expand the scope of that sport or game. And in cases like that, like as it started to grow or take off, like it wasn't super surprising to me. I think the rate that it accelerated surprised me, where I'm just like, going in from a previous year in like 2005 maybe and like winning like a smaller tournament to like, all right, we're on like USA TV on like Saturday morning. Like I remember like not really even kind of believing it until I saw the episode. Like I remember like waking up on a Saturday morning, like turn on the TV, and then it's like, all right, up next the MLG Pro Circuit show. I'm like, what the heck? Is this actually happening? Like I feel like I've been promised and not delivered in many cases in gaming in certain ways, and so like I kind of like don't think if things are too good to be true. I like don't believe it till I see it, and I was like, oh my God, this is happening. Like, all right, I'm on TV. What the heck? Let's go.
I hear you talk about skateboarding and extreme sports a lot when it comes and when you're in interviews and stuff. So how much of an equivalent do you think that is? Like, is there an equivalent between extreme sports and gaming? Or is that something that you always wanted to tie together?
I think that there are overlaps or learnings we can take from each side. I think anytime you try to just apply like a one-to-one methodology to like this craft to this new discipline, like it's not going to work because each community is so nuanced. Like even within gaming, like you can't apply the exact same learnings to like the Smash Melee community versus the Valorant community. It's like just completely
so
different audiences.
That's
However,
true.
Even though they're both super competitive games and there's a lot of overlap. And so when I think of something like emerging sports like skateboarding, and granted I have not done all this research or anything, but I looked at it as, all right, here is a new emerging sport, comparing skateboarding to gaming. So there are different brands that are going to take off in that space. Like there are opportunities for whether it's clothing lines, whether it is for hardware manufacturers to help develop the correct gear to cater to the top professionals. I also look at audience size. Like when I think of skateboarding, like that there was clearly a hardcore kind of underground following, but like it started to get adopted by the masses, and especially the younger audiences. And when I think of gaming, like the sad reality I think of is like some people like, oh, is gaming as big as it's gonna get right now? I'm like, if you want me to be like really like morbid, I look at it as like probably a significant percentage of people over 50 or 60 don't care about gaming whatsoever. Like you're talking like low single digits percentage of people care about it. And so you talk about like the next 40 years, you're having 40 years of population that are coming in and are going to be significantly interested in gaming. So we haven't even hit like a peak amount of the world or gamers yet. And so when we look at this in 30 years, we're like, oh my God, like what the heck? Why is there now like 10 times the interest in gaming besides just an actual growth of it and being introduced to people that know of it now? It's like, well, guess what? You now have 30 years of people who have grown up with gaming, understand gaming, want to be a gamer, want to watch gaming.